All right, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another live stream. I think we're good. Welcome back, everybody, on live and on replay. What's going on, TikTok? As you guys come in, you already know how it works. Drop your questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to talk about, because the sooner you drop your questions, the sooner I can answer them and get you guys the help and answers you need. So drop them below. Let me know what's going on and let me know where you're tuning in from, as well as where you are on your pre-PT journey. So let me know as you guys come in. Great to see you guys here. And of course, what we got going on is our New Money PT live event happening this weekend. Virtual tickets are available at newmoneyptlive.com. Basically, we're helping you make money now in school without having to ride share late at night, and not without having to do overnight shifts in a warehouse, without having to work as a PT tech and be a student, without having to be an RA or a teacher's assistant and a student and live life. We're basically trying to help you make money as easy, fast, and simple as possible without sacrificing everything you want to do and giving up everything you want to do in life either. So that's what this New Money PT Live event is all about. And it all started because you guys asked us how to help you with your new problem after you got into physical therapy school. So we helped you get into physical therapy school, and you were like, great, that's amazing, but now I have to pay for physical therapy school. How is this going to happen? And we were like, we got you. We'll make a solution for you. And it turned into New Money PT Live. So that's what's going on. It's a 2-day event. We have 38 attendees coming in person to Tampa, Florida. And we have, I think, close to 30 virtual people coming already. We have 2 days left, or Thursday, Friday, before the event starts on Saturday and Sunday. So it's a 2-day event on Saturday and Sunday to teach you guys how to make money in school without giving up all that stuff I talked about. So if that interests you at all, give me some likes, give me some comments, tell me yes, tell me no, because if it does, I have a coupon code for you guys to get $50 off your ticket. So if that interests you, say yes, let me know, put it in the comments, DM me for it, whatever you need to do. So I know that interests you, because I know making money in school, setting yourself up for success, not having student loans for the rest of your life, having money to use and use at your disposal in PT school is not for everybody. Everybody doesn't want that. Everybody doesn't want an extra $1,000 a month, an extra $5,000 a month in school, an extra $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month on top of your PT salary once you're a PT or PTA. Everybody doesn't want that. So I get it. If you don't want that, no worries. No worries at all. But if you do, DM me, let me know in the comments, and I'll make sure you have a coupon code to our New Money PT Live event going on Saturday and Sunday. So that's what we got going on. So drop your questions, drop your comments. I'll stay on for probably about 25 minutes. Then I'll let you guys go and enjoy the night as I finish getting ready to go down to Florida and get ready for this live event. You guys will be seeing it everywhere. So you won't miss it. You won't miss it at all. So that's what we got going on. I'm sure you've heard it, heard me talk about it, because I've been talking about it nonstop for the past, 2-3 months, 2.5 months. So yeah, basically my goal was to make sure that everybody knew that pre-PT grind was helping you with money. There was no confusion that pre-PT grind wasn't worried about your financial well-being, your health, how much PT school costs, that we're just feeding you to the slaughter, that there was no confusion about that we were making it clear that we know money is a problem for you guys. PT school cost is a problem for you guys. The pay that you're getting paid as physical therapists is a problem for you guys, and we are here to help you and give you a solution for that. So hope it's clear. Hope there's no confusion after this event, like, oh, pre-PT grind, how do we make money in school? There's a whole 2-day event, all about that. So we'll direct you guys to that if there's any questions after this event. So that's what we got going on. What's going on, YouTube? Thanks for joining. Appreciate you guys. Then TikTok, let's get to your questions here. Let me scroll up, make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, cool. You want to get more info, so here is your DM. Cool, I'll check your DM. I'll send you the coupon code, Shanley, after this live stream. then you can go get your ticket to New Money PT Live. But in the meantime, Shanley, while you're listening to this, if you want to learn more about it, go to newmoneyptlive.com. And yes, you can learn all about it. There's a whole page, a whole long page all about it. So we got you, and I'll send you a DM after this. Regarding OT school, how important is it to meet the recommended GRE scores? OT school, it's pretty much the same as PT school. Not sure of the small specifics, so just take that at face value. But if there's recommended GRE scores, it's still, I would say, it's still important to meet or exceed them. But what you would want to ask and what you would want to know is how strict are those recommendations? So it's like, oh, we recommended 300. So I would triple check and ask them and say, what do you mean by recommended? Is that like if I don't have a 300, I'm going to the bottom of the list, or I'm still considered if I have a 300? Because that's what you're asking. But I don't have that answer because all these schools are different. And there's so many different admissions committees around what that language means. One admissions committee can be recommended is no, still apply. We don't care if you have a 270 or a 310, we'll still accept you. Another committee is like, actually recommended means a 294 or above. So the last thing I want to do for you is say, oh, recommended means you're good. You can apply with any GRE score. Then you get denied right off the bat. Nobody wants that. So just triple check. Do you know anyone who can review my PTCast essay from YouTube? Yes, Rolando, go to preptessay.com and you can learn all about our services of how it works. But yes, we do review PTCast essays. There was like 10 or 12 that came in today that I saw in our email. So there you go. Just put that in the comments for you, preptessay.com. If anybody needs their essays reviewed or revised or edited, go to preptessay.com. I need that extra income, but I'm worried about making it in school. Yeah, that's why we made this for you. Top Coach Fitness. We know, we've been there. We started pre-PT grind in school. I worked all in school, so I know all about it. Yes, you need the extra income, but you're worried, oh, am I going to fail out of school, or can I handle it, or will I have enough time for school, life, and making money and all this stuff? So we got you. Basically, the point of New Money PT Live is to make sure you understand how possible it is to make money in school without giving up time you need for your studies, time you need for your family, time to work out, time to live life, time to sleep, without, having to drive Uber late at night or doing Instacart or, having 10 personal training clients that you don't have time for, or refereeing 15 basketball games on the weekend when you need time to study. We're trying to make you money in less time than you would doing anything else, and without giving up as much as you would doing anything else either. So yes, I totally understand. And that's why we created this. So Top Coach Fitness, we created this for you. So go to newmoneyptlive.com. If you want a coupon code for $50 off of the price right now, then send me a DM and I'll send you the coupon code after this live stream. Get your PT hours in and track your PT hours. What does that mean? So when you're tracking your PT hours, you're just keeping track of, I went to observe a physical therapist on August 30th for 5 hours. That's it. Then keep it on one page. Then on the next line, or on the next line on the table, on August 31st, I observed a physical therapist for 10 hours or 2 hours, right? And just keep track of that from the same physical therapist. Make sure they sign it or you have their information and you can follow back up with them. That's all that means. It literally means keep track of your hours. Love your videos. Just started intro to Kines, looking to be a PTA. Good stuff. Hope the journey goes well for you. If you need help, you know how the internet works. You can reach out to us. But glad you're here. Thanks for the kind words. Glad you like our videos. Do I need a work authorization to be an intern without pay? Sounds like you're not from the US, so possibly. Do I need a work authorization to be an intern without pay? A volunteer? No. An intern, if you're like at a big corporation, like a Walgreens or like a, UPS or something like that, they might do that for safety and legal reasons. But if you're just a volunteer, if you're talking about observation hours, shadowing hours, probably not. Just graduated as a PTA. Advice for the NPTE: follow PTA Elevation. That's what she does. Her name's Brianna. Go follow her, tell her I sent you. That's what she does. So I'm not an expert in the NPTE, especially not for PTAs, but that's what Brianna does. So follow PTA Elevation, tell her Casey sent you, and she'll take care of you. So that's my advice for it. Which school is better to transfer for Kanice, NIU or UIC? Whichever one's less expensive. I forgot which one's less expensive. I want to say NIU is less expensive, but don't quote me on that. It might be UIC. And you got to factor in travel costs and where you live and commute costs and cost of living too. I don't know why I want to say NIU, but I'm not sure. Which I would say whichever one is least expensive. Thank you. You're welcome. How did you know physical therapy was for you? So I was between pharmacy and physical therapy. And basically I thought pharmacy was for me because I saw dollar signs and I was like, oh snap, pharmacists make this much. I guess I'll just do that. But when I shadowed pharmacists and got more information about what they did versus physical therapists, I was like, no, pharmacy is not what I want to do. Then later on, luckily, I found out that physical therapists can make just as much, if not more, as pharmacists. So what was I even driven about? So basically, to answer your question, how did I know physical therapy was for me? I got more information. I learned more about pharmacy and physical therapy. And once I learned more about both, then my decision became easier. But many people are stuck in between these different careers because they just don't know enough information about either one. They know like 3 pieces of information about one, then they know 2 about another, then they're like, oh, I don't know which one to do. But if you knew 500 facts about pharmacy and 550 facts about physical therapy, your decision becomes way more easier because you just have more information to go off of. And since you know all these different things, you can more easily say, this is for me, that is not for me. So information is probably your biggest problem right now. Megan, thanks for following. Appreciate you. Tips for getting into a pre-PTA program. A pre-PTA program, if you're still on, give me more context to that. Does that mean you've gotten into a community college and that's an automatic acceptance to a PTA program? I'm guessing that's what you mean. But if you're still on, let me know. Give me some more context so I can help you out. You have a bachelor's in exercise science. Your next steps for going to PT school, I'm guessing? Your next steps are to apply to PT school. Like that's the next bigger step. There's a lot of details within that one step though. So your next step is to apply to physical therapy school. If you want more details on how that whole process works, go to our acceptance guides. We have free guides in our link in bio on our website. Just download them and it'll give you all the details about how this process works. So that's what I'd say do. Your next step is to apply to physical therapy school, but that's huge. That's what our whole account is about. So how do you do that? Start with our free stuff, start with our free guides, binge watch all of our content for free, then go from there. And we have directions on where you should go next in our free stuff. So acceptanceguides.com, link is in the bio. Go to our website and download those free guides. And that's your next step. GRE tips. You need some sort of assessment to tell you where you are. Like, what's your biggest problem with the GRE? Because many people just study everything. Then they freak out even more because they run out of time because they're studying everything. Then they're freaking out again because they're running out of time because they're studying everything. But if you knew specifically that in quantitative, your geometry, trigonometry, and stats was your biggest problem, then you can focus a majority of your attention and time there and not study everything for 3 hours. You can study trigonometry, you can study that math stuff you're struggling with for 2 hours, then spend the other hour on the other general stuff. So that's probably your biggest pain point and where you need to start. When is it best to start observation hours? Currently in my 2nd year. Yesterday. You can start observation hours whenever. There's no too early or too late to start observation hours. You can go to observationhours.com and get observation hours from us online, virtual observation hours. That's where you can start, or you can just go to your local clinic or hospital and ask how that works for them. So yeah, that's how you can start. What should you expect from the essay workshop? I write it with you. So that's what the essay workshop is. It's literally a workshop. So I'm like, all right, here's the intro section. This is what it's about. Here are examples of how I would write it. This is how you should write it. Okay, press pause and write it. Then you press play. And I'm like, all right, Body paragraph sections. Here's how you should write it. Here's how you should think about it. Here's the structure to it. Here are like 2 or 3 examples. All right, pause. Now you write it based on what I told you. Same thing with the conclusion. Then we do the same thing with 2 supplemental essays. So it's literally a workshop. You're going to go through it with me. And I'm like, all right, here's your character. Here's your setting. Here's your plot. Here are examples of what to say. Here's the intro paragraph. What would you say? Here are the 3 points you need in your intro. All right, press pause and write it based on your story. And the same thing with the body paragraphs. Here are the Fab 5. Here's the 5 things you need in your body paragraphs. Here are examples. Blah, 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 blah. Take notes on this. Take notes on that. All right, press pause and you write your body paragraphs. So it's literally a workshop. I write it with you. And at the end of it, you should have your essay done. Are physical therapists on debt for the rest of their lives, or is it a myth? Some physical therapists are in debt for the rest of their lives. Some are debt-free 2.5 years after physical therapy school and is teaching other students how to be debt-free as soon as possible after physical therapy school, so they're not in debt for the rest of their lives like you're concerned about. And some people have a event called New Money PT Live that we've been talking about over the past 3 months to help you not be in debt as a physical therapist for the rest of your lives. So if you're looking for something to help you with that, go to New Money PT Live, DM me that you're interested in coming or coming virtually, and I can send you a coupon code. You're welcome. Follow. Thanks for the follow, Ethan. What made you choose PT over pharmacy? When is the essay workshop? It's already done, Amelia. The essay workshop is done. Go to preptessay.com. It's already done. Or you can go to our website. So preptessay.com, or go to the resource page on our website. The essay workshop is done. It's already recorded for you. It's waiting for you. So basically your essay is done. As soon as you buy it, as soon as you log in, as soon as you get it done, it's done. If that's the workshop you're talking about. What made you choose PT over pharmacy? Job satisfaction, career opportunities, fixing my own body problems, and I think that was it. Yeah, fixing my own problems, job satisfaction, and job or career opportunities. Those were the big 3 things to help me choose PT over pharmacy. Do you help international students? Yes, we do. We sure do. We've had students from Japan. I talked to a student from South Africa. She wasn't in any of our programs, but I talked to her. Mexico, Canada. I think those were the biggest ones that I can remember. Bahamas. I've talked to a lot of like Indian and Pakistani people. I don't think we've had any in our flagship programs though. Is PTA to DBT a good idea? It can be for some, but to me, it's either just choose one. If you want to be a PTA, be a PTA. If you want to be a physical therapist, be a physical therapist. But if your point of the question, like many others, is, can I be a PTA first, then be a physical therapist? You can, but why? If you know you want to be a physical therapist already, just be a physical therapist. Why make a pit stop and waste more time and waste more money being a PTA first if you know you want to be a physical therapist? If you want to be a PTA, then later on decide you want to become a physical therapist, that's a different story. But if you're going into this whole thing saying, I'm going to be a PTA, make a pit stop, work a little bit, then be a DPT, is not like, why? Like, why? All right, YouTube got another question. What's going on? Good to see you guys here. How big of a difference do you feel a 3.4 to 3.5 prereq GPA makes in the application? Also, PTA to DPT, lots of people doing it. Yeah, you can do it if you want. You can do PTA to DPT if you want. It's just, if you already know you want to be DPT, it just takes more time and money. But if that's what you want to do, it's your life. Go for it. But 3.4 to 3.5, it can make a big difference, because that was my story. I got rejected from physical therapy school because I had a 3.4, and they were not taking anybody for interviews unless you had a 3.5 or above. So depending on what school you go to, that could be it. That can be the difference for you from an acceptance versus a rejection, or an interview versus a rejection, because that's what happened to me. I had a 3.4. They were like, no, we're not going to interview anybody unless you have a 3.5 or above. So I was rejected because I had a 3.4 and not a 3.5. So how big of a difference is it? It could be huge. just depending on the school you go to. Do you show types of jobs or offer jobs for New Money PT? Do you show types of jobs or offer jobs? Do we show jobs? So yes. So basically, you're asking more of like from the employer perspective. So I know what you're asking. Let me know if I understand correctly. So you're asking, do we show what jobs are out there? Yes, we can do it. We'll do a Q&A at the end, and if you have questions about jobs that are out there, yes, but that's not really the point of the event. But I'll explain in a second. And do we offer jobs for New Money PT? Like, are we hiring for our company? Not necessarily at the moment, but I'm assuming you're asking, do we pair you up with jobs? No, that's not really the point of this event either. So the point of the New Money PT Live event is to teach you how to make money on your own using like an online side hustle. So you can make money now and not wait until you're a PTA or PT to then pair you up with jobs and then get you a job once you're a PT or PTA. That's not the point of New Money PT Live. So the point of New Money PT Live is to give you an online side hustle now so you can make money now instead of waiting later. So basically we're teaching, and all the speakers are teaching you, how can you have an idea to make money easier and faster and more simple now during school than driving Uber, doing Instacart, babysitting, mowing lawns, being a PT tech, being an RA, doing all this stuff that takes all your time, money, attention, energy, sweat, and tears. How can we make this easier for you so you can make money now in school without sacrificing all that stuff while still getting all the benefits of making 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, whatever a month in your online side hustle? That's the point of New Money PT Live. So if I'm understanding your question correctly, if you're looking for more like the employer stuff, are we matching you up with jobs? No, that's not the point of New Money PT Live. Maybe sometime in the future, I don't know if we'll get into that. We can point you in the right direction, though. I know some recruiters and people who I can help you um, get in touch with. So if that's what you're looking for, I can help point you in the right direction. But New Money PT Live is not really set up to match you with jobs, if that's what you're asking. Amelia, thanks for the follow. Where can I get virtual PT shadowing hours? You can get them at observationhours.com. Observationhours.com. First week of PT school, any strategies to not feel overwhelmed? You need to learn how you best learn, because that's probably what the problem is. You're probably trying to learn how to fly the plane while you're flying the plane. So if you learn how you best learn, you can then absorb the information easier, faster, quicker, so you don't feel overwhelmed. So that's what I'd say do. Learn how you best learn. So 36 credits have a 2.5. Is it possible to make a 3.0 at 60 credits? 36. I think so. You got to get A's. You got to get A's, like straight A's, just to be safe. But is it possible? Yes, I think it's possible. Should I look into retaking classes? If you're asking this, then yes, probably. Fatima, yeah, probably. Thanks for clarifying. You're welcome. No problem. Any tips to perform well in a return demonstration practice? Return demonstration practice. Is this like a return to sport test or something like that? I'm guessing that's what you mean. If you're still on Route 2002, let me know. Recommended to shadow multiple clinics instead of one. It depends on where you're applying. It depends on where you're applying. So if a school is asking for multiple clinics, then get multiple clinics. If they're just saying, we need 50 hours from anywhere, then you can just get 50 hours from one clinic. So it depends what the school wants. Difference between PT and RT, so respiratory therapist. A physical therapist improves function and movement before and or after injury. A respiratory therapist helps your respiratory or breathing system. So that's the difference. Physical therapist improves function and movement before and or after an injury. Respiratory therapist or recreational therapist. Respiratory therapist helps you breathe better. Recreational therapist is more, how can I put this? I guess I can say, to keep it simple, helps you return to recreation. So whether that's bingo to frisbee golf, is acclimating you back to recreational sports or recreational activities. A test. Tips to perform well in a return demonstration test. A return demonstration test. I'm still drawing a blank. Route 2002, you might have to help me some more. A return demonstration test. I'd love to help you. I just need some more information. How to get into a PTA program? The same as a PT program, you have to give the school what they want. Like, what are their requirements, right? That's first. And how soon are you able to fulfill those requirements, and how well are you able to meet or exceed those requirements? So, um, that's the biggest tip. Like, that's the overall arching theme of that. You have to give them what they want. It's not, oh, can I slide by with this? Can I get in with that? Can I do this? What about that? What about this? I'm always going to go back to first, because we first have to get past the first wave of applications. You have to get past the first round. If you can't do that, then it doesn't matter if you have this or this extra thing. I'm going to ask first, and so are they. Do you have what I'm asking for? So that's the biggest thing. Return demonstration is when the patient tries the exercise at home and comes back and it shows you how. Oh, okay. Tips to perform well in a return demonstration. Okay. So tips to perform well in it. I don't want to oversimplify, but it's just doing the home exercise. It's practicing it. And it's all for your benefit overall, because the home exercise program is going to help you, or is designed to help you get better, right? So the best way to pass it when you get back to physical therapy or wherever you're going is to do it as prescribed. So just like a physician would say, hey, take these medications, in 4 weeks, we're going to retest your cardio health or cardiopulmonary health. We're going to get on this test machine and test your heart again after taking these meds. It's the same thing with the HEP demonstration. I need you to do these home exercises for the next 5 days. And when you come back, I'm going to retest this and see if you're better. So follow the prescription is the best way, if I'm understanding you right. Yes, you can retake classes if you graduated a year ago. Will this video be able to watch later? What's going on, YouTube? Hey, we got 7 on YouTube. That's what I'm talking about. Good to see you guys. Yes, this will be on YouTube. The YouTube replay will be on replay. The TikTok replay, it just goes away. That's why I'm doing it on YouTube and TikTok. So yes, this replay will be on YouTube. What do you know about schools that have rolling admissions? I can apply right now for a hybrid program or a 3.5 to 7 later. I would dig a little deeper into that school, ask them some more questions, or learn more about their requirements and their average accepted GPA, and say, so for example, if their average accepted GPA is like a 3.8, then yes, I would apply later with a 3.8 or a 3.7 in your case. But if their average accepted GPA is like a 3.5 or a 3.3 or something like that, then you can apply now. Then you don't, I mean, it would help if you have a 3.5 or 3.7, but if you're closer to their average, it wouldn't hurt, I guess, to apply now. So yeah, that's what I would think about. The average is 3.4. It depends how long it would take you to get to that 3.5 would be my next question. But you can apply now if you're very worried about it. Do you have any tips for the GRE? Take an assessment. Take some sort of assessment so you know where you are. Like, what are your weak points? Instead of just studying everything, take an assessment. That's my big tip for the GRE. So you're not just studying everything and wasting time. Tips for a freshman who wants to be a physical therapist. Research everything you can about physical therapy and any other profession you want to get into. That's your biggest thing. Research. Find out as much information as possible so that you're not a senior or you're in physical therapy school and say, oh, I don't like this. I just wasted all this time and money and effort to get into physical therapy school and now I don't like it. I should have been a nurse. I should have been a pilot. I should have been a YouTube streamer. I should have been whatever. So the biggest thing you can do right now as a freshman is research and make sure this is what you want to do. How do you answer, tell us about a time you had a setback? You want to talk about how you overcame it. That's what they're looking for. So don't ramble on about your setback. Oh, but my this, but my excuse. Explain the setback, then talk the majority of the time about how you overcame that setback. YouTube, thanks for the tips about the GRE. One of the most daunting things. Yes, nobody likes the GRE. And schools are going away from it slowly but surely. So the schools don't even, most of the schools don't even like the GRE either. So yes, good point, YouTube. How many hours should I study for the general bio and general chem? 1 per week. As many hours as you can. I'm not going to give you a specific number because then some people are going to be beholden to that number and say, oh, Casey said study for 2 hours, so I'll study for an hour and a half, but really study for 30 minutes because I was scrolling during that hour and a half. As many as you can. Trying to finish school by the time you're 30. I like that, Jose. Go for it. Go for it. Keep pushing for it. Associates in Kines then go to PTA school. Any advice? Yeah, I have plenty of advice. Let me know what advice you're looking for. I'm guessing that's a helicopter emoji. Let me know what advice you need, and I'll love to help. Possible to apply with a 3.0? Yes, it is. Absolutely. Am I a counselor? Sure, I guess you can say that. Pre-PT coach, pre-PT advisor, counselor, pre-PT helper, physical therapist, whatever name you want to put on there. I hope you guys get into PT school and make money while you're in school so you can live your life and career as a physical therapist and not regret it and not make the same mistakes I made so you can be better than me, faster than me. So if you want to call that a counselor, I'm fine with that. That's cool. Some key cues for when you're first learning transfers: squat, pivot, standing pivot, squat, pivot. You're taking me back to school. I got to think all the way there. Nowadays, I've been practicing for 5 years, so my transfers are just do it. So I block the knees. Well, it depends of course, it depends what the situation is. So I need more context to give you the best answer, but I basically block the knees or block the knee, and I have a gait belt on, or sometimes not. Usually I do though, and I just I rock my body back, so I transfer from forward to back. And I use the body mechanics of my weight shift to pull them up and hold them up. Then I just turn, then I lower them down with my body mechanics. So it's not like I'm pulling them up, then dropping them down. I just block their knees. 1, 2, 3. I come up, just like you learn in school, and put them down. I think that's what you're asking. But just practice what they taught you in school, because I'm going to tell you the same thing, because I learned the same thing you did with the transfers. So that's it. Just it's biomechanics, body weight, and all that stuff they teach you. Applying to PT in 2024. Any tips? If you don't have our free guides already, get our free guides. That's the biggest tip I'd give you. But if you need more help and have specific questions, let me know. But yeah, we have plenty of tips. But let me know what you're looking for, and I got you. Luke just started first week of PT school. Well, Luke, hope you're having fun in PT school. This is what you've been working for. This is what you're paying for. So enjoy. Have fun. Have a good time. Sophomore. You're a sophomore right now. Good stuff. Shout out to the sophomores. How important is the GRE score? I'd say number 2 on the list of importance. So GPA, then GRE score number 2. Give a DPT student on their first rotation. Don't be an asshole. Don't be a bitch. Smile. Have fun. Be helpful. Don't act like you know it all. Go in there with an open mind. Be able to take constructive feedback. And just understand that we know that you think you don't know anything for the most part. And that's our job, to help you transition into the workforce. So we're ready for it. We know you're nervous. We know you don't know anything or think you don't know anything. We know you're going to mess up. So that's not the problem. At least for me, the problem is if your attitude's not good. So just go in there, smile, have a good time. Everything else will take care of itself. Thanks for the follow. Love Color de Rosa. UIC, is it cheaper to commute or live on campus? You live in Aurora. Oh, Lord. I don't know the prices of on campus for UIC. So you would have to check the rent prices or dorm prices for UIC. For those of you who don't know what UIC is, because whenever I see acronyms for schools, I'm like, I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? So UIC is University of Illinois at Chicago. So, yeah. But Aurora's a long commute, so yeah, you got to factor that in. How many observation hours you recommend? However many the school you're applying to requires from you. What other fields can you work in for Kanish? You can apply to med school, OT school, speech, pathology school. You can get any job really because you're an entry-level worker. You have a bachelor's degree. So when I get questions about what can you do with a Kanish degree or exercise science degree, the answer is you can do everything and you can also do nothing. Why can you do everything? Because you have a bachelor's degree and you can work almost everywhere. Well, you need extra training, extra certifications, depending on things here and there. Yeah, sure. But you have a bachelor's degree. You can go in any direction in life. You don't have to be beholden to health, exercise, science, kinesiology stuff. And on the other hand, there's no specific job for kinesiology. You're like, I'm a kinesiology major. Can I be a kinesiologist? Well, there's no, for at least from what I know, there's no real jobs out there where you're a kinesiologist. There's no companies usually. There probably are some, but there's really no companies out there saying, I'm hiring a kinesiologist to do X, Y, and Z. It's not out there. So that's why I say you can do everything and nothing. Sid, you're taking far from admissions, but you're taking a course at community college that will transfer. You love human anatomy. I love to hear it, Sid. Good stuff. Glad you're enjoying it. That's a big part of the journey. I got to enjoy it. It makes it easier if you enjoy the journey to where you're going. Do you think 39 is too late to graduate from PT school and start your career as a PT? Nose over toes, yes. Let me come back to this question. Where is this? 39. So I got a question like this the other day. I came on the live stream about somebody feeling too old. I still need to think about this answer because me saying no, 39 is not too old. Like, what is that gonna do for you? Hopefully, it makes you feel better. If I just said no, 39 is not too old, you're fine, you can do it. I hope that makes you feel better, but what is that really gonna do? So I'm trying to think of an answer to like either shift your awareness, shift your frame of mind, shift your perspective to be like, oh, I see where he's coming from. No, I am really good. Because everybody's going to tell you, no, 39 is not too old. But it's like, what can I say to shift your perspective or get you to really understand it's not? The best thing that I can think of now is that you're going to get older every year anyways. So whether you become a PT now or never become a PT, you're going to be 45. You're going to be 57. You're going to be 77. You're going to be 100 or whatever, however old you're going to be. So would you rather be a physical therapist at 42? Would you rather be a physical therapist at 57 or not be? Right? That's the question you should probably ask yourself. Is 39 too late? Well, is 47 too late? Is 52 too late? Is 67 too late? Because you're going to be that age anyways. So what's the problem with being 39? And you're going to be 39 anyways. So you're either going to be 39 and graduating from PT school or 39 and asking yourself again, oh, it's 42 too late. Oh, it's 50. Like, so I hope that helps because I can easily just say, no, 39 is not too late, but I don't think does you justice. After you submitted your PTCAS application, what did you do in that time before interviews? Did you continue to collect more observation hours? No, I didn't worry about observation hours. You don't need to worry about observation hours. In your situation, Ty Sands, I'm guessing you don't need to worry about observation hours. What you should do is act like you're already going to get accepted. And you should start preparing like you're going to get accepted and going to get the interview. So you should start preparing for the interview and start preparing like you're going to get accepted. So everything you would do if you were to get accepted, you would do what? Start to plan where you're going to live, what school you're going to choose, what setting you want to do clinical rotations in, what you're going to do before you start school, how you're going to start studying. You're going to look for MacBooks. You're going to celebrate. You're going to do all this stuff, right? And that's the best way to prepare. Sid is 38. So Nessa on YouTube, Sid is 38. Sid on YouTube, Nessa on TikTok is 30. I'm guessing 36 if you're going to graduate, 37, 36 if you're going to graduate, 39 from PT school. Feel like a parent amongst my pupils, just need a different career path. Like you said, we just get older. Best we can do is take care of ourselves and keep on moving. There you go. There you go. I think our oldest client right now is 52 in our accepted system. Making a decent amount of money, but you don't enjoy your main job. You're in college. So you're making a decent amount of money, but you don't enjoy it. So there's two ways you can think about it. You can just suck it up and keep making the money. That's number one. You can keep your main job and learn a new skill at newmoneyptlive.com, which we're going to teach you how to do this weekend. Virtually, you can get a virtual ticket. You can keep your main job. So number one, you can keep your main job and just keep complaining. Number two, you can keep your main job, have an income source coming in while you learn a new skill to make more money. Number two, or number three, you can just quit the job you're at right now because it's so miserable, then learn a new skill and have that new skill make you money. How early, late do rolling admissions programs fill up? It depends on the school. I wish I can give you a number like all rolling admissions schools fill up after 6.5 weeks. That would make everybody's lives easier. That would make my life easy. Like, bruh, that would be great. But it's not like that. It's just how well is the school marketed, how many people are applying to that school, how well known is the school. So I wish I can tell you, but it's not that easy, not that simple. So it could fill up in 2 weeks. It could fill up in 16 weeks. Turning 30. We got somebody turning 30 here, Nessa. In my PTA school, I had a classmate that was 46. It's never too late. Well, there you go. Final semester kinesiology major. Only now realized I'm missing some prereqs for school. Do you know if it's possible to apply now? If you have two... So if you have two outstanding prereqs, yes, you can apply now. But anything over two, the school is going to be like, just apply next year. So that's what you got to keep in mind. If you have two, most likely you can still apply. But if you have over two, the school is going to be like, You have two? Okay, cool. Then you could be good to go. Now it depends on other factors too. Do you have the other requirements done? And what's your GPA? What's your GRE score? Then all those come into play. What about some key cues to tell the patient when performing the transfers? First week of PTA school. Somebody said nose over toes, so I like nose over toes. I get very nervous and forget what I'm supposed to do. So I like nose over toes, and I just like lean forward, like lean into me. The other cue that will come in handy, especially when you're a therapist, you will start to pick up that if a person is not leaning forward, especially during a transfer, they are scared as well. And they are scared and or either they don't trust you. So they don't want to lean forward to stand up for the transfer because they're scared you're going to drop them. So the more stable, the more secure, the more strong, the more tight, the more locked in your legs are to theirs, the more confident and secure they'll feel to stand up and to, I guess, be loose or be tight or whatever to do that transfer. So that can be another issue. They don't feel that you're confident and have them. So that's what you'll pick up as you become a therapist. Thank you. You're welcome. Massage. What do I think of massage therapists? I think they're fine. Nothing wrong with them. 3.3 GPA. How will that be? It's fine. It's not the highest GPA. It's not the lowest. We've helped people get in with the 3.3. So it's okay. Any classes I should sharpen my knowledge on before applying to school? You need to get A's in the prerequisite classes. So that's what you should do. Get A's in the prerequisite classes if you don't have them or A's in them already. Dorm prices are 9 to 12K for an entire academic. Oh, for an entire year? Well, then you got to calculate gas prices and your time, right? From Aurora to the city, what is that? An hour and a half? That's not including traffic. An hour on a great, amazing day. This is definitely over an hour, right? Aurora to Chicago. I have an interview at a PT place. So you have to say, what can I do for you? With the interviews, you have to say, how can I be best of service to your clinic? How can I make your clinic more money? How can I make your clinic run more efficiently? How can I best help you? That's what you need to talk about in the interview. Struggling to know if I should apply this cycle with a 2.9 and a 3.6. You need to find out how strict the schools you're applying are with their GPA requirement cutoffs. That's what you need to find out. Because if all your schools you're applying to are like, we need a 3.1 and that's it, I'm not accepting nothing else. Our algorithms, our artificial intelligence will not accept anything under a 3.1, then you know what you need to do. But if they're like, as long as you have a 3.3 prereq GPA, then your cumulative can be anywhere between a 2.3 and a 3.7, then you know you can apply to that school. But you have to get very specific on what the school wants. Is a 3.3 too low? No, it's not too low. Work-life balance. How's work-life balance? So in my opinion, it's fine. So for physical therapy, there's no graveyard shifts. It's usually 40 hours a week. So in my opinion, the work-life balance of physical therapists are fine. Like, what are people complaining about? You can work more or less, as much or as little as you want as a physical therapist. Like, it's just a regular job. You can go home and plop your butt on the couch and watch TV after work. Or you can work 32 hours a week and get paid a little less, right? So it's just a normal job. It's 40 hours. It's usually a 40-hour a week job. Debt to income ratio. Is it worth it to do a DPT program in today's economy? So how you have to think about this question is it worth it to you? Is it going to be worth it to you? Because I know millionaire physical therapists. I know physical therapists who were debt-free 2.5 years after physical therapy school. So if you ask that group of people, is it worth it? I'm going to be biased and say, yes, of course it's worth it because I made it worth it. But you go over here and ask other people, is physical therapy worth it? And that group of people is still in 200K in debt, 150K in debt, making 70,000, 69,000 a year, or 77,000 a year, struggling in an outpatient clinic, 7 years after graduating PT school. They are going to say, no, it's not worth it. Run. You should never do physical therapy. Okay, well, I understand why they're saying that. Of course, they're going to say it's not worth it. But it depends who you're listening to, right? And depends who you want to be like. Because you can take that question and bring it anywhere. You can say, is becoming a pilot worth it? Becoming a nurse worth it? Becoming a neurosurgeon worth it? Is becoming a construction worker, social worker, whatever. Is anything worth it? And that's all going to come down to, are you going to make it worth it? And what's the math on how much debt you're taking out and how much you're going to make as soon as possible after being a physical therapist? So that's how people need to think about that question. It's not as simple as some of the comments you might see online, like, no, it's not worth it. You should never do it. Like, what are you guys talking? Like, what? Like, how? Like, there's much more context and nuance that needs to be given in that answer from people answering it to give you the best answer. So that's the biggest thing. And if you want to make it worth it, funny enough, you ask and come on to this live stream. We're having an event all about money, a 2-day event called the New Money PT Live event. Go learn all about it. If money is an issue for you and you're concerned about making PT worth it, go to newmoneyptlive.com. And if that interests you, send me a DM on any platform, and I'll give you a $50 off coupon for you to come to the live virtual event, the 2-day event this weekend. How did you, 17, fresh out of high school, tore your ACL, college online? Can you be a PTA first, then be a PT? Yeah, you can. Can you get scholarships? Yes, you can get scholarships for PT school. Thanks for the follow, Anthony. Easiest way for study for tests, you need to make an emotional connection to the material you're learning. That's the easiest way to study for tests. You need to make an emotional connection to the test. Because if you don't make any emotional connection, it's going to be harder for you to remember it. No traffic, 1 hour. No traffic, 1 hour. Traffic, 1.5 hours. Gas, 4. Yeah, you just gotta do the math and see what's worth it for you. What's more important to you, Jose, your time or your money? If your time is more important, then you need to live on campus. If money is more important and you're saving money at home, then stay at home. Andrew's DBT, how to specifically make connections with sports clinics. You go to them, or you find out where they are, or who they work with, or what they do outside of the clinic. How do you make connections with sports clinics? How do you make connections with anybody? You give to them. So Andre, if I wanted to make a connection with you, Andre, if I wanted you to buy something from me or hire me or do a favor for me, like I would do something for you first. I would give you something. I would ask you what you wanted. I would ask you what you need. I would ask you how I can help you. I would give to you first before I would take anything from you. So we give out all this free content. We're on live streams. We have all this free stuff for you before we ever ask for money from anybody. And most of the people don't pay us anyways, right? So it's the same thing for you wanting to connect with sports clinics. Instead of most people are just going to say, what can I get from a sports clinic? I want to be a sports PT. I want a sports PT job. I. But you're going to stand out if you say, what can I do for you? What's the easiest way to study for a test? Oh, I got that one. I'm bilingual. You'll make more money. Yes, you definitely could. Honestly, debt discouraged me from pursuing DBT. Ended up settling for PT. You're happy. Well, good stuff. Glad you're happy. Glad you're happy with PTA. Enjoy. Do DBT programs give financial aid like student loans? Yes. Grants and all that stuff depends on the school overall. What should you highlight and emphasize? Nothing really. You don't really need to highlight or emphasize anything on your resume. You just put what you've done on your resume. There's nothing you really need to highlight because they're just going to see it. Like, just put it on there. Just put what you've done on there. What do you recommend I do to get some sort of cert? What to do to get a certification sooner? You just get it. First off, you don't need a certification, right? You can get one if you want one, but recommendation to get a cert sooner, you just sign up sooner. So there's no secret, there's no trick, there's no anything to do that sooner. You just do it sooner. Okay, maybe you need to stay on campus. Yeah, maybe. It's just things you have to think about. Don't try and answer it on today's live stream. Did you have a job in PT school? Yes, I had many jobs. I had like 7 jobs, and we started pre-PT grind while I was still in school. I'm in Illinois. I make $90K as an outpatient physical therapist. Do I recommend taking a business course while pursuing PT school or undergraduate? A business course from where? So you just need to take business advice or business courses from people who've done it before, right? So for instance, it's like, would you rather take a business course? Now, it depends what your mindset is. So here's what you need to think about. Why would you take a business course from somebody who's never owned a business? Which is usually most professors, not all professors, but usually most professors. I'd rather you take a business course or business coaching or business help from somebody who's doing or has done a business exactly like you want to do. It's like getting street knowledge from somebody in the streets doing it every day versus somebody with book knowledge. That's why physical therapy schools send you out on clinical rotations, because physical therapy schools give you the book knowledge, but they're like, you need the street smarts. So go out there in the streets and learn physical therapy from somebody doing it right now. Same thing in business. Do PT programs look at overall GPA? Yes, so they do look at grade trends. Ty Sands, if I'm understanding right, yes, from a majority of the physical therapy schools that I've spoken to, they do like to see a positive grade trend. So if you had like a bunch of C's or D's in your freshman year, but it turned into C's, B's, A's, they love to see that. So yeah. If you were to do it all over, what would you do differently? What would you still so what would I do differently? I would stay with physical therapy first. I would have never declared myself as a pre-pharmacy major, and I would have done a 3+3 program for physical therapy, meaning like a freshman acceptance program, meaning I was accepted into physical therapy school almost as long as I kept a certain GPA, and I just went straight all the way through, and I would be done in 6 years. But I didn't do that. I dilly-dallied between pharmacy and physical therapy, got rejected, spent more money, spent an extra years. It pissed me off. That's my whole rejection story, which I'll go into at another time if I need to. But that's what I would do differently. And why would you still choose physical therapy? Because that's physical therapy is what I wanted to do initially. I was just sidetracked by pharmacy because of the dollar signs, and I didn't know there was a way to make more money as a physical therapist. I was just thinking like an employee saying, oh, what is a job going to pay me? Okay, as a pharmacist, a job is going to pay me this. A job as a physical therapist is going to pay me that. But I didn't know, or I didn't realize I can make my own money as a physical therapist. I have my own license. I can do whatever I want and make as much or as little as I want. Once I figured that out, I was like, oh, I should have been physical therapy all along. So why would I choose it? Because I always wanted to be a physical therapist. The job opportunities, job satisfaction, I can fix myself, and all the other reasons people like. Started second semester, good stuff. What jobs would you recommend while still being in high school, majoring in kinesiology? Whatever you like to do. There's no specific job. You don't need to be a PT tech. You don't need to do this. There's no specific healthcare majors, certain jobs that make you look better. Whatever will pay you. Take whatever job will pay you, or create your own job. Have an online side hustle, have an offline side hustle. Go learn something for free on YouTube. Go start a Twitch channel. Go be a seller. Go be a setter. Work at customer service. I don't care what it is. Do something that will pay you and that you maybe, hopefully, like to do a little bit. How to grow your income as a PT, you have to give the other person or the employer value. So just like I'm giving you value, Casey, Lynn, small world, same name kind of. But just like I'm giving you value, right? On this live stream, on all our free content, we have all these followers, not for no reason. We give you a bunch of value, and in return, you give us your attention and your time, and sometimes you give us your money. And you need to do the same thing with your patients, your clients, or your employer. How will you grow your income? Well, you have to give the other person who's giving you money enough value where they want to exchange their money with you. And what is value? Something somebody cannot do for themselves or they don't want to do for themselves. So, prime example, if somebody needs their essay revised and they don't know how to do it, or they don't want to do it, or they're scared that it's not good enough, that pain of not having their essay as good as they want to be to get rejected is bigger than the money sitting in their wallet. So they'd rather exchange the money with somebody else to get their essay as good as possible to get into PT school. That is value to them. So as a PT, as a physical therapist, to the client or to the employer, you have to give them enough value to exchange their money with you. So that's how it works. 3.9. How much is the GRE going to hurt if I do bad? It can hurt a lot. Depends on the school, but it can hurt a lot. But it can hurt a little. It can hurt not at all. So it depends. Are you thinking of opening your own clinic? It definitely is possible. But I know a lot of clinic owners, and I understand that it's not as easy as people think. So if I were to open my own clinic, I would get help every single step along the way. I would be paying somebody monthly so I can speak with them every single day as much as possible to say, how can I make this clinic successful? Because I don't know what I'm doing. I know how to run an online business, but to open up a physical clinic, I would need help. So I would pay somebody to teach me and tell me and coach me along the way. What do I need to do to open my own clinic? So it's definitely possible. What classes should you take in high school? Whatever you want. You don't need to take any specific classes in high school. Any classes you want. The good thing about high school grades is that they don't matter. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Great talking with you. I got to get ready for our New Money PT Live event this weekend. Go to newmoneyptlive.com. Get your tickets. DM me if you want a $50 off coupon code for this weekend's event to teach you how to make money in school now. See you guys later.